Alright, so UFC 306 is in a few days here. So I want to go through the card, but I also want to talk about what what this event means for the UFC and kind of go through the saga of the Sphere. When it was announced a few months ago, Dana White claimed, and he has claimed all along, this is supposed to be a once in a lifetime event. Like, uh, this will be, in his words, this UFC fight event will never be done by anybody ever again. But the problem is that when he started announcing the card, it is fairly under, well, like it, I don't want to say shit, but it's definitely not what a UFC pay per view should be. Like, don't get me wrong, we have been blessed with a lot of good cards. UFC 300, even though we weren't sure about a ton of those fights, every one of those turned out to be a banger. You then had um, Islam Porte. That pay per view was amazing. And then you had um, Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prohaska to save the international fight week card. There was supposed to be Connor and um, Chandler, which I really don't get that situation, and I don't think that Connor will ever return. But like the UFC this year has been putting on great cards. You know, Umar versus Corey Sandhagen. We had uh, Barboza versus what is it? Will Murphy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Will Murphy. Well, like I, the last few events just haven't been the same, and it has to do with champions not defending their belt. Cue the John Jones comments now, but it's also um top contenders not fighting. But I'm rambling on too much, so I'm not gonna go through every fight, but I'm gonna go over the ones that stand out the most to me, starting with Rosas Jr. versus Roy. I don't know how to say his name. Rosas Jr. is a great prospect for the UFC. He's super young. He's only 19. To put into perspective, Rory is 31. And if they are able to get Rosas Jr. on a good win streak, get him to be popular with the fans and the casuals, he could potentially be one of the biggest stars. He already has some impressive finishes. Like his last fight, he submitted Ricky to Coys in the second round. He got a first round knockout over Terrence Mitchell. That one was crazy. Then he has first round submission over Jay Perrin. Like, Rosas Jr., if he can put on a impressive performance, will be a contender, like in contention to become a contender. I think the UFC will absolutely push this guy to the moon if they can. They, for some reason, the UFC loves the guy. But yeah, my pick is him. I think submission, maybe in the second round, but it should be a fun fight. And then we got Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont is the other one that stands out to me. It's interesting because I think it will show where Irene Aldana is. You know, she's 36. Uh, she she has that win over Rosa, and she lost to Amanda Nunes last year, which this is a good fight for her to get back in the mix for a title fight, especially because the women's bantamweight division is in an interesting state right now ever since Nunes retired, but should be a fun fight. Norma Dumont, though, she's 3 years younger. She's coming off of a decision win against Jermaine Durandamine, and she, I think, I think she only lost one fight in the UFC. No, she's only lost 2 fights in the UFC. I forgot about the Megan Anderson one. But I think it's a fun fight. I kind of think Norma Dumont will win, and I think Irene Aldana, I don't know, she's 36. I don't see her making a run. Who knows, though. And then when we go to the main card, right? Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Odi Osbourne. I'm sorry, but this is not a main event worthy fight. I think Ronaldo Rodriguez will win. Again, I don't get why he made this fight. Yeah. He has that one submission win against Denise Blonder. But I don't get why you're putting him on a main event of one of your biggest events ever. That's what Dana claims. This is not a main event worthy fight on any card. But I'll go with Ronaldo Rodriguez. This one though, I don't mind. Daniel Zuber versus Esteban Ribovic. I really like Ribovic. But you look at Joe Hubbard, he's coming off of a decision win against Prado. He got that submission win against Diagos, and you know, he only has 3 fights in the UFC. none of which against any top contender or worthy names. No veterans, nothing. I don't think that I don't think that this is a good fight to have on the main event of a pay per view. Well, I don't know. I guess I would go to Mitrovic. Like, this is a cool fight night main event, but not a main event on the biggest card ever that you're claiming. I don't know. But after that though, this is the one fight that regardless, I saw this fight and I immediately bought the pay per view. And I'll be honest, this is like the one fight that sticks out to me the most. This is definitely the fight of the night right here. But oh, excuse me, Brian. Oh my God, this is annoying. Like, we all know Brian Ortega, he's getting up there in age, but he beat Yair Rodriguez, which Yair Rodriguez, to me, is one of the best up and coming fighters that bantamweight had. He's only 31. I was making sure, but when he got that submission over Yair, it showed that he's still at the top of the featherweight division. Um, Yair, to me, I like. I think he, I think Yair has some of the best boxing in MMA. Period. But I mean, when he went against Max Holloway showed him that there's levels to this. But um, when it comes to Ortega, I still think that he is up there with the top. Like, he's the same age as Volkanovski. He's a few years older than the max. Like, it's a fun fight. But on the other hand, you have Diego Lopez, and now Diego Lopez is one of the funnest fighters to watch. Like, the fight that he had at UFC 303 with Danny Gay. Oh my God! Like, we all know that Danny Gay puts on incredible fights, but Diego Lopez is lethal. Like, his jiu-jitsu that he displayed in that fight, and he displays in all his fights, is insane. And that's what's fun about this fight with Brian Ortega, is that both of these guys are high-level jiu-jitsu black belts, and they have plenty of submissions that they can use against one another. I think Brian Ortega is out there with Charles Oliveira as one of the scariest submission artists in the UFC, period. Um, but for this fight, as much as I love Brian Ortega, I think Diego Lopez, he just, to me, he displays, I don't know, the way he puts on pressure to me is what amazes me with Diego Lopez. Because when you look at his fight with Danny Ige, he was able to transition on the ground really well and threaten with deep submissions relatively relatively easily. And what makes it interesting is Brian Ortega off of his back is one of the scariest things ever. Like, we all remember when he held Volkanovski in a guillotine for nearly half a round, and well, like, that was one of the deepest guillotines I've ever seen. But I don't know. I kind of think that Diego Lopez will win this fight. I just think Diego Lopez, like, the pressure he puts on fighters and just the way he threatens with his submissions, I think he will either. I think he will submit Ortega, but I think he does it after knocking him down. I kind of think too on on the feet. I think that Diego Lopez just has more power and more weapons. So I think I'm going with Diego Lopez. Now we have the trilogy fight between Alexa Grasso and Shevchenko. Um, I don't know what to think about this fight. Like, when you look at Alexa Grasso, the the submission she got over Shevchenko in that fight in March was impressive, but it was, where the fuck did it go? Alright, bye. Like, that fight that Grasso put on with Shevchenko was phenomenal. Like, I, to me, I thought Shevchenko kept it competitive, but I think Grasso, with what she was able to do on the ground in that fight, and to be able to just stand there and keep up with Shevchenko, it was a really fun fight. However, I kind of think that Shevchenko will come into this fight more calculated and more focused, and I pick her to win. Nothing against Alexa Grasso. I just think Shevchenko, uh, probably second best fighter of all time as far as women. I kind of think that she will, like I said, she will come to this fight. I'm picking her to win by knockout, probably in the third round. But yeah. Then again, though, I'm not gonna take anything away from Grasso. Grasso is a very smart fighter. But let me get to the main event. Now, Sean O'Malley, this is a fight that I wanted to see for a while. Because when you look at Sean O'Malley's previous fights, he had the one against Marlon Vera in March. He knocked out Sterling for the belt, but he hasn't been very, active. Like, he won the belt in August. He defended it uh, in March. All I'm gonna say is I hope that he defends it early next year. But the Marlon Vera fight to me was weird because as much as I love Cheeto Vera, I didn't think that he was as worthy of the title shot as Marab was. Marab to me is just a like he's kind of like Colby Covington in the bantamweight division. That's the best way I can explain it. Like Marab, his pressure, I think he has the best pressure in the bantamweight division. And when you put that up against Sean O'Malley, who is a technical striker, it's very interesting. I think that if Marab tries to strike with him, purely, he's gonna get knocked out. But if he's able to mix up the wrestling and, I don't know, threaten a submission against Sean O'Malley, I think he, the chances of him winning a fight like that improve as the fight goes on. Um, I, if I was Marab, I would try and threaten a takedown for at least the first few rounds, get him tired, and I don't know, because the problem with Marab is that he doesn't have many not like impressive finishes. Um, you know, he has the decision against Cejudo. He has decision against Yon. These are all fantastic fights, though. Decision against Jose Aldo. He knocked out Marlon Moraes. Then it's, another decision, another decision, another decision. Like, he doesn't have, like, he's kind of like the wall now that I'm looking at it. Like, if Marab really wants to win this fight, he's gonna need to either threaten a submission or compete with Sean on the feet. That being said, though, I just, oh my god, call your straight pipe. God, I hate living in a hick town, dude. Just like it, you're not cool if you cut your muffler off your truck. You really aren't. Anyways, back to the fight. Um, I just, I think Marab has the best skill set to beat Sean O'Malley. However, I have a feeling that he won't. He'll try and strike with Sean O'Malley more than he needs to. That's just my feeling. I think Sean O'Malley could knock him out in the second or third round, and yeah. And then that begs the question, do you see Sean O'Malley fight Yair? Does he continue to defend his belt? Who knows? But anyways, those are my picks, at least a few of them for the fights. What do you think about this card? What are your picks? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, too, what do you expect from this UFC Street event? And yeah, later.